Hello friends, in today's video we are turning this scruffy spot behind me into a fairy garden wonderland. We're going to be using thrifted things, we're going to be crafting and gardening to bring this look together. So let's get started with our first part of the project, and that is the cleanup. Here's a look at the first phase of our cleanup. To get rid of the tree or to not get rid of the tree, that is the question. Because not this tree, obviously. These little baby trees that are popping up, we have them all over the yard, and I don't know if we need it to be right here. So I'm gonna think on that and continue with our project. While I'm back there pondering the tree, I wanted to share my visit to Fur Kids that absolutely gave me some goodies. I had a feeling they would that day, and I was right. I was able to see these awesome garden stakes that I thought we could use for the project. And then I was on the hunt for a few more houses. I've shown you a couple that I've gathered already, and I saw these two cute little cages that I thought would fit perfectly, as well as this larger one. All of our houses will be thrifted pieces. Here is one of the thrifted goodies from Fur Kids. I just had a feeling they were gonna have something good that day, and I was right. I was able to get 4 of these for $4.95 each, and they were an extra 15% off. And how wonderful is this? So it's just a black garden stake, but see how it has this awesome little springy cup at the top. I'm wondering now, because I didn't realize this when I bought them, but is this a drink holder? That's pretty neat. But I figured it would be an excellent thing to go into our fairy garden area, and I've got 4 of them, but I'm going to be spraying them white because I think they'll stand out a little bit better and just fit the vibe if they're white. So let's give these a nice little change for our fairy garden. As those dry, it was time to just clean up a little bit more of the debris that was around our tree. And as you'll notice, I did decide to get rid of the little trees. I think it just streamlines the look of the whole area and makes the tree the focal point. So there is a bit of tree trunk here, or root, that we're gonna keep, and I just want to expose it more so it's more visible and less likely to trip over it. But also I think it kind of adds to the effect of our little fairy garden space. So I've started to move away some of the brush and dirt, but I'm just gonna continue with that. But as you can see here, it's right here, and I just think it looks kind of cool. Now some pieces, like, look, that's a loose piece, but we might be able to use that. I don't think I'm gonna get too crazy in digging it up, but I did just want to be able to see it a little bit more. I think it looks cool. And there we go. Ooh, it's actually bigger than I thought. That's what happens when you start digging. You're gonna uncover some things. There we go. That should work. And then I'll highlight it with our houses and our lights. Speaking of the houses, it was time to forage for our decorations. I went back and forth many times on the theme of this fairy garden or what I wanted the overall look to be, and I decided that I just really didn't want to paint the houses. I'm not the biggest fan of painting, so why do something that I don't really want to do? And with that, I decided to kind of go into more of a mushroom or woodland fairy theme. So that's what we're sticking with. And it was very easy to find all of these items in our yard. So using things we already had, foraging for everything, and I was able to involve my daughter, who absolutely enjoyed the whole process. These are a little bit bit different. They don't have a front door, so I'm going to make a front door. I think I'm gonna use this little piece of bark here, and then I've got my little acorn tops, and we'll make a door. At least that's the idea. We are ready to put everything together. We have used our foraged items onto our thrifted metal houses. We have painted our garden stakes, and we are going to hang our solar lights. With all of that, we are ready to bring our mushroom wonderland together. Brought me these mushrooms, and look, I have repaired them. They unfortunately broke shortly after she bought them, but they got right back together with some glue, thankfully. And here are our solar lights. We should be sponsored by Walmart at this point, right? We are fully funding them with our solar light purchase this spring, but these are going to be super cute. We actually have a pair already and we love them. So I've got 2 for this area. I think they'll fit in nicely. So here's all our stuff to put together. I think I've decided I want each house by a garden stake, and then our lovely largest one by the tree. I think let's string the lights first. Hey, be careful. You don't want to break that. Let's string the lights first just to see if this is gonna look good, or at least what I'm envisioning how it to look. Let's see if it looks that way. Half the battle with these lights is untangling them. Okay, friends, sometimes when you're in these projects, the things you envision just don't work out. The garden stakes are not giving the right effect for this fairy garden, and I believe it's because they're up high and everything else is down low, so the scale is all off. And I'll show you what it looks like, but I'm gonna rearrange it. I think we may nix the stakes for this project and we'll use them somewhere else in the garden because they are pretty awesome. But I think if we remove them, it will solve the issue that I'm facing at the moment. So without giving too much away, here's our tiny little house with our gigantic garden stake. So that is just not the look for me. I think there's just too much contrast going on and too much scale difference, as I was mentioning. So I'm gonna remove the stakes and we'll see what that gives us. All it takes is a little creativity and brainstorming. But remember some of those natural rocks I was saving for another project? This is gonna be that project. Yay! Scene with the natural rocks. I've also decided to change my mind about the flowers. They're now in smaller terracotta pots, and it's just the white ones because the red and white, although it was giving mushroom, it was also giving candy cane and Christmassy, and I just wasn't going for that with this. I found some sticks, and these are going to be our new poles for stringing our solar lights. So let's put this together. Let's see what we like best. So maybe we do plant. Just need to wipe these off a little bit. plant and then house. And then what I'll do is probably put them on the inside. So we'll do plant, house, then one of our sticks for our lights. There we go. We're just using stuff all over the yard, from all over the yard. These are from our little fire pit area. So we're gonna use these as maybe some stepping stones or just little touches to the fairy houses. We're gonna make this one
at night the fairy
curve.
Well, you gotta get some food for they go to a fairy get some food. Oh,
What do they eat? What do you think they eat?
Sticks.
Do you think they eat some sticks? Okay. Well, there's plenty of sticks in the yard for them to eat.
But they don't eat sticks because they eat flavor.
They need flavor. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope it inspires you to use something that you have and turn it into something that you love. And if you enjoy thrifting trips and getting crafty, be sure to subscribe so we can hang out again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.